some fun today. It's time for music class. It's time for music class. We are singing, tracking the talker, sitting nice and tall, hands in our lap, voices off. Thank you. Here's what we're doing in our video today. We will chant and move to rhythm exercises, then we will sing solfege and match pitch. We will perform rhythms on buckets, and then we will read and listen to John Henry. So we're going to start with our rhythm exercises. Just because I want to stay in my little circle here, I'm going to do arm circles just so you can see me. But you have a choice of what exercise you would like to do. You could do jumping jacks, arm circles, mountain climbers, squats, or any other exercise that has a lot of rhythm to it. Okay, you can run in place and feel the beat in your feet. Anything that works for you. So we're going to say our chant. We'll do this 2 times through. Ready? Here we go. Quarter note, 1 beat. Ta, 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 ta. Half note, 2 beats. Ta, ta. Whole note, 4 beats. Ta. 8th notes, half a beat. T, 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 T. All right, we're going to do it one more time, just a little bit faster. 2 of my cats just broke into my recording room. Ready? Here we go. Quarter note, 1 beat. Ta, 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 ta. Half note, 2 beats. Ta, ta. Whole note, 4 beats. Ta. 8th notes, half a beat. T, 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 T. All right, you can relax, have a seat. Next, we're going to sing our solfege pattern. So I'm going to sing some kind of pattern in music, and your job is to copy me. Match pitch means your voice sounds like mine. If I sing do, and you sing do, they're not the same note. If I sing do, and you sing do, not the same note. If I sing do, and you sing do, perfect, you match pitch. Here we go. Do, re, mi, your turn. Do, re, mi, my turn. Mi, fa, sol, your turn. Mi, fa, sol, my turn. Sol, la, sol, your turn. Sol, la, sol, my turn. Sol, la, ti, your turn. Sol, la, ti, my turn. Ti, ti, do, your turn. Ti, ti, do, my turn. Do, ti, la, la, your turn. Do, ti, la, la, my turn. La, la, so, your turn. La, la, so, my turn. So, fa, mi, your turn. So, fa, mi, my turn. Mi, re, do, your turn. Mi, re, do, my turn. Do, mi, sol, do, your turn. Do, mi, sol, do, my turn. Do, sol, mi, do, your turn. Do, sol, mi, do, my turn. Do, 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 your turn. Do, do, do. Thank you. All right, we are moving on to our bucket drumming activity. Checking for cats. I don't want to spook them. Okay, so you're going to need whatever you are using as your drum. I'm using my pink bucket since I'm here at school. You might have a bucket, you might have a Tupperware container, you might have a donut box. I don't know, whatever works for you. A cardboard box, all that works great. And then whatever you're using as drumsticks, I'm using 2 drumsticks. You might have pencils, markers, spoons, anything that's long and stick-like. Works just fine. Okay, if you need to go get those materials, grab them now. All right, in our last video, we talked about the side of the drum. I'm going to adjust my camera quick. The side of the drum. Whenever we see an A on the staff, then we know oops, we are playing the side of the drum. This is the exact same exercise we did at the end of our last video. So I'm noticing that the rhythm is ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta. And I notice that it says underneath R, L, R, L, R, L, R, L, R, L, alternating left and right. So I'm going to play this by myself right now. Your job is just to listen and watch my hands as a refresher for what we did in our last video. Ready? Here I go. Try that with me. I was very quietly saying to myself, right, left, right, left, right. You can do that too if you'd like to. Ready? Here we go. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Fine. So do the same thing a little faster. Ready? Here we go. Oops, I knocked it over. That's all right. Okay, let's do it one more time. About the same speed, but this time we're going to say the rhythm. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta. Ready? Here we go. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta. Fine. All right, if that was challenging for you, that's okay. You can reverse the video a little bit and try it again at your own speed. It's always a good method, a good way of learning things. Just start off going slow, and then as you learn, get faster and faster. If that was really easy for you, great. You can pause the video and see if you can go even faster than we just did. All right, and our next one, we're going to combine the three sounds that we've learned so far on our drum. So far we have learned the head, the rim, and the side. And in this exercise, we use all three together. So let's do our little road map. So right above my head, I see an F space. The head of my note is on the F space. It means I'm going to hit the head of the drum. Then I see the C space is next. That's the rim. And then I see the A space, which is the side. So head, rim, side. And then I see something that looks like kind of a goofy lightning bolt kind of thing. That's our rest, our shh from way back in September, October, November when we were doing our rhythm of the day. That's our shh sound. So when we're playing with drumsticks or rhythm sticks or any instrument, it's a great rule of thumb. You just separate your hands and shh, so you know you're not going to make sound. Okay? So we'll have center. I'm going to say head. I wrote center, but we're going to call it the head. Head, rim, side, shh. Okay, then I notice it's the same thing, head, rim, side, rest. The only difference is that now we're going to start with our left hand. Head, rim, side, shh. And then the last measure is exactly the same as the first. Head, rim, side, shh, fine. Okay, so let's try that together. We're going to go nice and slow to start. And as we say it, as we play it, we're also going to say head, rim, side, shh. So you remember where to hit it. Ready? Here we go. Head, rim, side, shh. Head, rim, side, shh. Head, rim, side, shh. Fine. Did you remember to switch to start with your left hand in that second measure? Let's do it again. Maybe a little bit faster. Ready? Here we go. Head, rim, side, shh. Head, rim, side, shh. Head, rim, side, shh. Fine. Okay, let's do it again. This time we're not going to say where we're going to hit it. We're just going to hopefully get it. And we're going to say the rhythm, which is ta, 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 sh. Ready? Here we go. Ta, 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 sh. Ta, 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 sh. Ta, 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 sh. Fine. This time, we're not going to say anything. We're going to go with the same speed. We're going to let the music speak for itself. Okay? Start this time. Ready? Here we go. There we go. If that was challenging for you, that's okay. This one is the most challenging one we've done so far. So you can pause the video, take it down a little bit slower, go at your own speed. If that was easy for you, great. Pause it, and you can see if you can go a little faster. Okay. This one is even more challenging than the last one. Not only are we doing a different rhythm, which is teet, 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 sh, teet, 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 sh, teet, 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 sh. Fine. Also, the order of head, rim, side, like we did last time, is not the same each time. In this one, it's head, rim, side, sh. And then it starts on the rim in the second measure, rim, side, or rim, head, side, sh. And then in the last, rim, side, head. So it bounces all around. So this is why it's really important to know your differences. That the F space is the head, the C space is the rim, and the A space is the side. Okay? So I'm going to play this by myself. And as I play it, I'm going to say out loud what I'm going to hit. And if you want to challenge yourself, don't play along, but you can do air drumming above and next to your instrument. To try it out, okay? So I'm the only one who makes sound. Starts at the head. Ready? Here I go. Head, head, rim, rim, side, side, shh. Rim, rim, head, head, side, side, shh. Rim, rim, side, side, head, head, shh. Fine. Okay, let's try that. We'll go a little slower than that. We'll go head, head, rim, rim. Ready? Here we go. Head, head, rim, rim. Side, side, shh. Rim, rim. Head, head. Side, side, shh. Rim, rim. Head, head. Side, side, shh. B-nay. Now I just noticed as I was playing in the second measure, I'm going to start with my left hand, and I didn't do that. So that's something I'm going to fix this time. And that's okay if you make mistakes like that. That's just part of becoming a musician and a better musician. Get a little better every time you do it. Okay? Let's do it again. Head, head, rim, rim, side, side, shh. Rim, rim, head, head, side, side, shh. Rim, rim, side, side, head, head, shh. Let's do it one more time, a little faster. Start on the head. Ready? Here we go. Head, head, rim, rim, side, side, shh. Rim, rim, head, head, side, side, shh. Rim, rim, side, side, head, head, shh. Fine. Okay, now we're just going to switch it a little bit. Instead of saying where we're hitting, we're going to say the rhythm. T, 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 shh. Not that fast though. Ready? Here we go. T, 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 shh. T, 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 shh. T, 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 shh. Fine. This is a challenging one. Now we're going to let the music speak for itself. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let my drums and my sticks do the talking. Ready? Here we go. All right, that was 100% the most challenging one we've done so far. So if that was hard for you, that's okay. Reverse the video, go really slow at your own speed, slow it way down. And then as you get better at it and go faster and faster, come back and do it again. If that was easy for you, great. You can go back and try it at an even faster speed on your own, okay? This one will be our warm-up in our week 25, day 1 video. So we'll get another chance to take a crack at it next week. Okay. You can put your drums away. We're going to talk a little bit about John Henry. John Henry is something that I know 100% that second graders have covered this year. So that means if you're in 3rd or 4th grade and you've gone to Purdue in the past, this is something you might well have studied. John Henry is the name of a man who lived a long time ago. And he is what's called a legend. He's also the character in what's called a tall tale. A tall tale is a story that is mostly true, but there are some parts that have been stretched a little bit. The truth has been stretched. We talked in our day one video this week about Casey Jones and how Casey Jones was the fastest steam engine driver, conductor, director in all of history. And he drove so fast in his steam train that he made up an hour and a half on a certain route that he needed to cover. And he must have been going really, really fast to make up an hour and a half. So while it's true that Casey Jones was a person, and it's true he drove a train, they might have stretched the truth to say 100% of the time that he was on time with his routes and his line. It's really hard for a person to be on time all the time. I know that there have been times in my life when I've been late doing things. And the idea that if you're an hour and a half late to something that you can make up that time just by going really fast is something that was probably, the truth was stretched a little bit. So there's some parts that were true, but some parts that were not true. So I love this great book called John Henry, an American Legend. It's written by Ezra Jack Keats, and the pictures are by that author as well. And I love this book, and I know second grade actually read this exact book this year, which is pretty cool. There's a wonderful song called The Ballad of John Henry that tells this story. But I just thought I'd show you some of the wonderful pictures in this book and recommend it to you. So on this page is talking about how John Henry was born. And when he was born, all the sounds stopped because it was such a big occasion. The wind stopped. The frogs and crickets were silent. The moon watched. The river roared. And John Henry was born with a hammer in his hand. You think he was really born with a hammer in his hand? I'm not so sure. John Henry grew up and he went to work. He went to work with his father. Then he got himself a job on a riverboat. And I'm not going to tell you all the elements of the story in case you want to read it. But he did some mighty fine work on a riverboat. And he eventually got a job working for the railroad, which is pretty cool. There's something called the westward expansion where a bunch of railroads moved out west towards California. So railroads were a big popular thing. And sometimes they'd come across big rocks, mountains, and hills that they'd have to dig through. And John Henry was the fastest person and the strongest person at laying down railroad ties. Here he is doing some very heroic things. Again, I don't want to read you the whole story in case you haven't heard it. You can see him working very hard. Now, the main part of the story, and the reason why John Henry is so well known, I'm going to keep it on this page, is because back then someone invented something called a steam drill. So remember we said that they had to build railroads that went through big rocks and mountains, and they'd often have, people that were digging it out with sledgehammers and pickaxes, kind of like what John Henry has here. But they said, the steam drill can go so much faster. It can dig fast. It can put down railroad ties. It is the fastest thing. And John Henry said, I can go faster than that thing. And he went super fast. 2 hammers in hand. I love that. It's the front of the book, too. He's like, I can go faster than a steam drill, which is pretty cool. And all the people were watching him in awe. And he crashed through, and John Henry beat the steam drill. He broke through to the other side of the tunnel they were building so fast. So that's kind of the story of John Henry. Again, I don't want to give this story away because there's some different versions of John Henry based on which author you read it from. But I really like the story of John Henry because, like I said, it's a tall tale. Some parts of the story are 100% true. We know there was a man named John Henry. We know that he lived. We know that he worked on the railroads. But I don't know if he was really born with a hammer in his hand. I don't know if he did all the wonderful, miraculous things that probably a normal human wouldn't be able to do, an average human. But the reason I bring up John Henry is because there's something called a ballad. And we talked about the Ballad of Casey Jones in our last video. And there's a song that is the Ballad of John Henry. And rather than have me sing it to you, I found a wonderful, beautiful recording of this that I really like because you can really feel the steady beat. So in the description below, I'm going to put a link to that video. It's not a long video. It's got some cool pictures that go with it. But you can really hear the song. It's a really fun, fast, upbeat song. But as you listen to it, I want you to see if you can feel the beat. And I always imagine as I listen to it, if maybe that's how fast John Henry was at laying down those railroad ties. It goes, gonna whop that steel on down, Lord, Lord, gonna whop that steel on down, clang, clang. It's pretty fast. It's a really cool tune. So click on that link in the description below and check out the Ballad of John Henry. Feel the beat. Whenever I hear it, it's usually stuck in my head for a couple of days, and I'm kind of rocking and rolling whenever I hear it. All right, Elementary Academy, we only have one thing left to do today, and that is do our train exit. So breathe with me. Thank you for joining me for music today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time with more.